All right, you got yours going?
Yep, good to go.
All right. And how are we going to start this thing? This is the thing.
Oh shit. Okay, I got this. All right. What is good, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? Welcome to the first inaugural episode of QuickMatch. I'm Dylan, and I'm joined by
I'm
Nathan.
Nathan.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm Nathan. Now we're already talking over each other. We got this down pat.
Oh, of course, of course.
We totally aren't just, half-assing this.
Nope, we're not. We're just gonna go and figure it out as we go.
Yep.
Oh,
And we're going to bring you guys all kinds of little news about random things, mainly video games, anime, manga, cryptids. So,
hell yeah.
you know, we would try and bring about, talk about the things that are going on today, but check your calendars, folks. It's election day, and there's not really that much gaming news. So,
Yeah. Twitter's a
uh,
cesspool right now.
yeah, no, you couldn't pay me to be on Twitter. You could pay me, but I would not. Yeah,
I wouldn't bother.
but no, no. So we could talk games. What have you been playing?
Well, I was in the middle of Silent Hill 2, as you know,
Yeah,
but
you didn't get any further.
no, I'm still stuck on the first apartment that you go to. I don't even
You're
remember
just
what it's
getting your feet
called.
wet.
Yeah, the Woodside
You just
Apartments. I'm still there.
and you got your feet wet, and you're like, I think I'm good for now. Call of Duty's out.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. That's
Yeah,
kind of been the main addiction recently.
yeah. I've been working my way through Metaphor Refantasio. I think I'm at 85, 90 hours now, and I think I'm hitting the 75% mark. It's kind of hard
Jesus.
to tell what the Atlas game. So
I played the demo and I didn't play
yeah.
all of it.
Oh, it carries over. So no matter how far you get, it'll get to a point. You can either get to the optional dungeon. You can go do an optional dungeon if you level your character right, or you can just focus on the main dungeon. But you won't be able to complete the main dungeon if you do the optional. So,
Yeah,
but hey, it gets you a taste of it. You don't like it, you don't have to buy it.
right. Well, I played the
Yeah,
demo and I got to like the first like city that you go to
yeah,
and then I
Grand
stopped.
Trend. Yeah, no, I did that my first time I loaded up. I'm like, oh, this is a lot. I think I'm gonna just take a break for a second, and then I went and worked on something else and came back to it after the game came out.
Right.
But it plays like a lot like Persona games. It's just got a little bit different, but I like the story more, and there's a couple of twists that happen right around maybe the midpoint.
Hmm.
Can't tell you for sure because I don't know for sure. Like, oh, that's a twist I seen coming, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna twist the knife another direction, and then another direction. It's like, just keep those twists coming, please.
Nice.
Yeah. And how's Call of Duty been treating you?
Surprisingly better than the last few titles.
Yeah,
Um,
I haven't touched a Call of Duty game since PlayStation. I think it was out on PlayStation, wasn't it? PlayStation 1?
I think they
Or
made
am I
one.
thinking of something else?
It might have been the PS2.
Was it Call of Duty on PlayStation 1? Let me look this
I
up
don't
here.
think there was.
Because it was like a. It's trying to give me the newest ones. It was something like Call of Duty. Call of Duty 2 on PlayStation 2, but I swore there was Call of Duty 1 on there. It was the first Call of Duty, and it came. I can't get a straight answer out of this.
Yeah,
Google's uh, Google's Google now. It doesn't really work anymore.
but
It's like,
no,
did you want this? No.
but no, it's been
Yeah.
surprisingly really fun.
Oh yeah. Well, the guys who made Titanfall did it, right?
I don't. There might have been people who worked on it, but for the most part, it was Treyarch.
Correct.
Yeah.
Huh. No, it says it was only on PlayStation 2. What the heck did I play then? Modern? No. What? It was some soldier game because my mom got it for me when I was a kid, like a triple pack thing they used to put out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I tried playing it, and I'm like, this doesn't play very well, or I couldn't figure it out because I was a stupid kid. So, I mean, I'm old enough to remember the old Nintendo. And what was your first video game console?
Mine.
Yeah,
Oh God. I have
was
two.
it a 360?
No, I think the first console I ever had was the PS2.
Well, it was a good one to have.
Yeah.
So.
My childhood was built off of Call of Duty and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
No, my brother and I, we had a PlayStation 1. I had the old gray box. I think I have it out in my shed still. And he got like the newer slim version of it. But he had a problem where we'd run a video game because you used to be able to rent them at the video store back then. Hey, video stores used to exist. Um, if you can't tell, I'm old as dirt. I'm 36 years old. But he'd want to play it. Let's say I step out of the room to get something to eat. He'd take the PlayStation disc out of my console and then put it in his, and he'd leave the room. And the game was loading into memory, so I'd get to a point, and I'm like, all right, time to go to the next level. And it's like insert disc. I'm just like, what? What do you mean insert disc?
I'm
Down there,
now.
and he stole it.
I can't say I ever dealt with that.
Nah,
Most of my siblings were either A, non existent, or too young.
yeah. Oh, we're 4 years apart, but it's like, oh, hey, brother, what are you playing? I'm gonna look over your shoulder while you play Game Boy, and I'm like, please don't. I get nervous when people watch me play video games, and he'd still do it.
I feel like I gotta walk in.
Oh, no, and the thing was, he'd always like, oh, I'll take your old games you're not playing. It's like, all right, cool. Like, just start a save on save two, and he'd always somehow delete my save. You just hit new game and hit save two. I don't get it. But
Every sibling has been guilty of that.
I was like, it's like that was like 60 hours. How? Why?
For me, it
It
was.
wasn't as
Oh, go
good.
ahead.
I was gonna say the old Pokemon Red and Blue. They like for some reason they were faulty on saving. So even if you'd still lose your save data no matter what you did.
Now are the days where you have to hit a certain button combo on the DS versions of Pokemon to delete saves.
Oh yeah, no, they used to delete themselves, or the save would get corrupted.
Yeah.
God,
Now it's
Final
like,
Fantasy VII. No, I was gonna say Final Fantasy VII. Got to the end of the game, got to Northern Cave, and it's like I'll save the game and play it when I get back from school. Save won't load. Save won't load. Save won't load. Just no. Why?
the only time I've ever had that happen was surprisingly Skyrim.
Really?
Yeah, I had it for the 360 and I loaded up a save one day and it was just like, hey, your save's corrupted. And I was like, how the hell does that work?
Yeah, no. Like I think I had something similar that happened, but it was in the DLC. Like you're out there going after like the snow elf and like the dragon's flying down or it has to spawn in the lake or something, and it was like stuck on his spawn and it just wouldn't load. So
Fantastic.
yeah, say
I had something.
yeah. No, I had something too, and as I was talking, I lost it. See, I'm old. I'm old. I can get away with being forgetful. You're young, okay?
No, I think since we're on first, since you asked first console, what was the first video game you ever played? I feel like we've talked about this, but I've probably forgot.
Oh boy, so that's a hard one to remember exactly. I think it was good old Mario on the Nintendo. It was either Mario 1 or 3. Because we got it secondhand, so I can't remember. I've got it somewhere still. I don't ever get rid of my stuff, but the problem is you move into a house, and then it's like, oh, it's out in the shed in a box, you hope. Or your brother has it, and he doesn't know where it is because he just moved. Or your mom has it, the closet you'll never find. I do remember my first Game Boy game, and it was The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. And I played that game till the wheels fell off. It got to the point where the key to Dungeon 7 wouldn't spawn, so I couldn't beat the game anymore.
Gamers just no.
Um, oh, it was so depressing too. Cause I'm like, wait, where? Why? No. Like, Like, come on, guys! I've beaten this game a dozen times. I want to, play it again. Because back then, still now, Jesus, games are expensive now. But back then you had a limited selection. So,
Right.
and then good old Pokemon wouldn't save your game; it'd just corrupt your save for no reason. I guess it was a battery issue or something.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was the whole thing with America. We got red and blue, and it was originally red and green. Then red and blue was like some weird re-release. You never did see those old Pokemon games, did you?
Um, I used to have
The
red, but I lost it.
the sprites didn't match how the final design of the Pokemon were.
Right.
So you're always like, why does Pidgey have no soul? It's just got like a black void for its eyes.
I mean,
And
honestly, I prefer that Pidgey.
it's seen things. Um, let's see. What was my first PlayStation game? Trying to think here. It's been forever. First PlayStation game. Crash Bandicoot 3.
Oh
Crash Bandicoot Warp.
shit!
Yeah. No, I had to think of like I had that game. I have that disc somewhere. I know it probably doesn't play anymore, but I have that disc in a box with all my other PlayStation 1 games.
Fucking
Because when
warped.
you're stupid, yep. But when you're stupid kids, you don't keep your games in the cases. So
Of
it's like,
course
oh,
not.
well, they're gone
You
forever.
put them in a stack on the desk and you never touch them. And then when you need to find a certain game, you sit there and you dig through that pile so all the discs are scratching together. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, or you shove all of them in one case because you think this case can hold 5 discs. Just smash them together. It's like that little thing that pops up there. It'll hold them all in place. No, no, it won't.
Or you steal the CD thing from your parents and you just fill it with your video games.
Oh, I never had that. Nah, my parents were stuck on VHS for forever. They still have VHS. They still have a VCR
Then just
and a
grab a
VHS.
VHS box and start shoving PS2 games in there.
Well, I think I got in the habit of just like starting to stick it in a Game Boy box, like the Game Boy game boxes. I'd start
Right.
sticking them in that. So I'm like, hey, like here's a Legend of Mana game. It's got a whole bunch of CDs in it. So I don't know where anything is anymore.
The only
Uh,
reason that I remember Tony Hawk Pro Skater being the first game I played is because on one of the levels, and I'm looking it up so I don't sound like a dumbass. Um, there's one where you're in like a neighborhood on like Halloween,
oh yeah.
and you'll be skating around, and I heard a phone vibrating. I didn't know if it was mine or not. You'll be skating around, and
It's
you can find
mine.
like a vampire just chilling somewhere, and he'll like run at you with an axe, and it's the funniest shit in the world. The only
That was
reason I
my
remember that.
phone. That was my phone. Hang on, it's my mom. So it's my mama. I'm 36 years old.
Still getting calls from mom.
Well, it's a crazy time right now.
I
Uh,
can't say shit.
that that and it could be something my brother's done because he moved out of where he's at and he moved back into home, and they're probably trying to set up internet and need my help. And you know what? He went to some trade school. He could figure it out. I'm sure. He totally didn't used to flip on electrical things when I had my hands in them. Oh, I didn't know a Nintendo 64 could shock you until he decided to turn it on when I was messing with.
I just wanted to
Like,
play Super Mario
no, it's like
64.
he just looked me in the eyes when he did it. That's the thing. I was like leaning back there, like trying to get the cables like put in. So I like had my finger on like the end here, and I was trying to like bring them together
That's
because I couldn't see back there. And he just like turned it on as I connected it, so my fingers were still in the vicinity. So it was just got a brief little shock, and the TV flickered on.
that's
So
cool.
the good old days of gaming on a black and white TV. So
No, there were so many games that I got to play when I was younger, but the one that I remember beating, and I need to know if you've at least played it, was the first Ratchet and Clank.
yeah,
Fucking loved
I
that
had
game.
I had to borrow it from a friend of mine because I didn't get a PlayStation 2 till way later, like when I came out with the Slim model. But he let me borrow the. I had my first PlayStation 2 game was Going Commando, so
The
it was like because
opening
it can't. Good.
The opening for the original one will go down in history as my favorite opening in video game history. Just that first level
Hmm.
where you're like, oh my god, it's so
You're playing as Clank, right? The
good.
first level.
No, you play as
Yeah,
Ratchet.
aren't you? Or is that right after he escapes the factory?
Like he
Or no, wait,
escapes
that's
the
not like
factory, and then the game starts, and then you play as Ratchet.
okay. It's I played it forever ago, and it wasn't my first one, so I played the second. I had a bad habit of playing sequels before the originals.
Yeah,
Don't know how that always happened, but it did. I guess it was just how things worked out. What the Kmart had on sale at the time. Because
Kmart's not still a thing anymore.
they might be. Like my mom used to go there all the time because of layaway.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I wish that they were still around because man, I could use layaway. There's so many things I need to buy.
Hey, Black
It's like, oh
Friday's
yeah,
coming up in like a month.
oh I know, but I've got to get I got a water leak right now, and I got to get my gas pipes hooked up. So that's going to be basically a paycheck,
Hell
and then
yeah.
and then the paycheck before that, the current one that's coming up, is going towards my mortgage. Because being an adult is so much fun. Uh,
Lord. Oh,
and speaking of being an adult, you're moving out soon.
I am so excited.
Yeah, you are until you have to unpack everything.
Honestly, there's not as many. I don't own a lot of stuff.
You don't think you do until you have to unpack it.
Like I have my boxes. I have like 3 boxes that are dedicated to books, and then I'm just gonna do like a couple trash bags for my clothes.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it.
The
I have
only
boxes. Go ahead.
the only thing that I'm scared of moving is my PC, because if that fucks up, it's kind of
Yeah,
over.
yeah, you got problems there. It's not an easy fix. Nah, my wife and I, when we first moved in together, we boy, that was a fun time. I could go into that another time, but we had to like box everything up, and he was like, I still had stuff I never unpacked because it was old college books that I didn't need anymore. Because hey, buy the book you need for this class, use it for 5 minutes, then never use it again.
Right.
Good use of your educational grant there. But they were just like sitting in boxes in my shed, and I forgot about them when we bought this house. And I go to pick that sucker up, and it weighs like 80 pounds. Like, good God, what is in here? Oh, this electrical engineering book I don't need. Oh, these old programming books of a language that's now been updated out of this, so I can't no longer use it anyway.
Fantastic.
Real good use of getting an education, getting a education in tech support work and stuff, and it's like, oh hey, there's nothing around the area you live. You want to drive 2 hours? Maybe. Is it pay good? No. Yeah, before working at home was a thing.
Right.
And you're going to be moving soon. This is kind of crazy out here with the wonderful water leak that decided to pop up after the one leak we got fixed. And gas. I'm more excited about the getting the gas fixed because I have a heater that I have to have installed. And it's like we haven't had heat, and it's gotten down to like 32 out here occasionally. So it's just like, oh, that's a nice heating pad I have. Thank God I have it to keep me warm.
Right. I have found myself surprisingly turning on my AC the past couple of nights.
I run a fan. Like my wife's like, "Why are you running the fan? Aren't you cold?" I'm like, no, I
No,
run hot.
it was
Like
80
my
degrees
body.
yesterday.
Yeah. Oh no, it's like it'll be like even if it's 30 out, I won't turn it directly on me because I've gotten conditioned to needing that sound. And it's just like I burn up anyway. Like my blood pressure's all wonky because of all the stuff I got going on. So it's like this podcast has just evolved into me rambling about my life.
Perfect first
Uh,
episode.
yeah, people are getting to know me. You want to ramble a bit?
I don't really know what to ramble about. I mean, I'm moving. That's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
Oh, that's an exciting thing. Your first time out of your house, really.
Yeah, fucking 22, and I'm just now leaving.
Dude, I was in college, so it took me till I was about 24, 25 to officially leave the nest. So,
I think the best part about it, and I have held this against you before, is that I'm moving into a paid off house.
oh yeah, no, I'm just like, it must be so nice moving in with someone who has a house paid off.
Yeah.
What's what's that, Nathan? Your mortgage went up and your property because your property taxes doubled. Mm.
What's that? Your partner's mother tragically passed away, so they got the house, and you're just
Yeah,
dating that person.
no, it's like I feel sorry for them, but it's like it's just like oh, I mean, it must be nice to have it paid off. No, just that way you can dedicate your money to fixing it up. Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, there goes one check, there goes another check.
Yeah, I just got bills. That's pretty much it.
My car, I was like, oh man, I'll ramble about this. I was so close to being credit card debt free. My car went, you know what? You don't let's have all your shocks and struts like just give out all at once instead of like like oh hey they were looking a little rough. They said no, they weren't looking a little rough. They needed to be replaced.
Yeah.
That that's about 3 grand in work. Just, oh, it's just one. It's life, man. Do yourself a favor and figure out how to invest. Get your money put somewhere that you can save it. Make money off your money. Don't be in my footsteps.
What are you talking about? That's why we have this podcast. By the way, please like and subscribe.
Yeah, no. Please, we'll actually be more focused next time we get around to actually doing something. It's just it's a crazy time right now. So most of the places we get our news from are flooded with other news.
Right. It's the
So
first episode. We're kind of just rambling.
yeah, well that this first episode was supposed to be like a month ago, but I had a pipe burst back then, and I was still trying to get my heat done back then.
The amount of time between finalizing this and actually doing it is probably like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, no. Like, oh, hey, let's do this. Like, cool. I guess I'll get a mic and then get this room set up so I can do things. And like, oh, cool. And it's like, hey, we're gonna do this today. About that.
Yeah, about that. I'm pretty busy.
Yeah, no, it's like seriously, the guy I was gonna have do my piping, he comes out for my heating. He's like, he opens up my crawl space. He's like, you got a leak. I'm like, what? And I peek my head underneath there, and it's just raining down water. I'm like, oh god. It's like, all right, let me get a plumber on the line to fix this because like the guy didn't do plumbing for it. He just only does gas. Because normally plumbers will do gas lines too. I
Hmm.
found that out. And I was like, all right, well, cool. I'll get someone on that. And then he got on another job or two, and they were big jobs. I'm like, well, the leak's fixed. And it's like, all right, cool. I'll come out this time. And I just peek my head in my crawl space. Like, all right, he's coming out. There's no way in hell I'll have another leak. In the distance, I hear water trickling. I'm like, just like a good like pour like from a water hose. I'm like, God damn it. It's just like, all right, plumber guy, you're just out here. You got the other one fixed. It's somewhere deep inside my house. I don't know where it is. I have claustrophobia. I can't get in there. Please come out and fix my pipe.
Oh,
And I don't know what it's connected to because nothing's lost pressure, so I don't know if it's what it is.
fantastic.
Well, if you're going to be moving in together, you best keep your ear out for that stuff because you don't want a leaking pipe to ruin your floors or your. Is the home you're moving into 2-story or one?
Well, it's one.
Okay, so you won't have to worry about it. The apartment my wife and I used to rent, it had an upstairs bathroom, and the seal was leaking, and we didn't realize it till she just happened to look up in the living room because the bathroom was above us. She's like, "There's water stains." I'm like, "No, those aren't water stains." Get the flashlight. I'm like, "Those are water stains." I'm like, "Please, for the love of God, let that be the water in leaking and not the water out leaking."
Right.
No, nah, life's crazy.
Yeah.
You think you're doing good. You think, oh, it's like, nah, just kick you in the butt. So let that be my old word of advice here. Always be prepared. And even when you think you're safe and you're good, you're probably not.
Oh, of course. Oh, crazy, crazy day.
Oh yeah, no. I've got I've got I got 3.5 acres technically, but most of it's like overgrown. I was like, oh, I'll work on that today. Mother Nature's like, nah, we're gonna rain all day. It's supposed to be a quick shower, but nah, it's gonna be all day rain.
What a great day to have rain.
Yeah, I've got no water right now either because I shut my water off because of that leak. I was like, oh, I need to let that drain because I got a pump underneath there for the guy to work on it. And it's like, so I guess I've got no water. I've got no heat, and I have to
Yippee!
sit here and survive for a few hours.
Right.
But that's life, everyone. You just got to keep surviving.
Oh my gosh. Man, we only
I was gonna say,
we only went
hmm?
into detail about what we're doing here for like 30 seconds, and then we went on like a 20-minute ramble sesh. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, that well, see, I'm getting old and long in the tooth. People are like, "You're 36. You're not old." I'm like, I have lived through things.
I've seen
I have
things.
seen things. Yeah. No, that's it. Like, look at my generation. 36. I was born, late 80s there. It's like, so what did I grow up seeing? And it's like, oh, you've seen this. You watch 9/11 happen. Then you're like, you just, this.
All the
See, see, like I've, considered going to the armed services when I was younger. I didn't. I know you went to the National Guard,
don't talk about
but
that.
nah, well, I mean, it's like, it's like looking at things as like, oh, we're in two wars, I think, when I was 18, 19.
Yeah.
When they were trying to recruit. It's just like, it's like life just takes you places you don't expect.
Uh huh.
But I do remember one thing from that recruit when they kept trying to recruit me. They sent me ads like, "We'll get a free TV." It's like, no, guys, I'm good. I'm in college right now. Free TV? No, I'm good.
Free TV.
Uh, nah, it's a ramble session, but if you give me the opportunity to talk, I've got a motor mouth,
Well, I
and
promise
like I,
everyone we have actual topics. It's just today's.
yeah, it's today's a day, and it's well, today's a day. Today is the day after the election, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure when you said you'd get this out, but just for adding context there, so it's like, oh, things are going on with that, and then I've got all this going on, so I'm going to ramble a little.
If I can,
It's like,
if I can, I might try, depending on how editing goes, either like tomorrow or
cut out half my rambling.
like Friday.
It's like you guys recorded 30 minutes of audio, and it's just you rambling like an old man. Uh, but no, we'll actually have topics next time. It's just with the election going on, it kind of wiped out everything on the news.
Right.
Like, hey, Switch 2 is going to come out. Hey, it's got reverse compatibility. That's great,
Sick, by
but
the way.
that's all we know. Yeah,
Like, there's other
but it's just,
stuff.
well, I mean, it's all we know about it. It has reverse compatibility. We don't have, I don't think, anything else, do we?
Not that I'm aware of, but there's just like other stuff going on. Like, I found one thing that I personally like. Um, the level from Halo 2's E3
All that
is finally gonna become playable, but only as a
here.
mod on Steam.
Wow, it's like here's our gaming slice to entice you. That's been sitting there forever. You guys can have it now, no big deal.
It's like, you guys remember that cool demo that we let you guys
Yeah,
play like 20 years ago?
here you guys go. We got nothing else going on right now,
So what if we
but
gave
no,
it to you? But
and yeah. Switch 2 though, I'm like, is it going to be physically compatible with your old games, or is it only going to be compatible digitally? My
I
question.
would assume physically, but I can check
Well,
real quick.
well, I didn't see it on there, but I just glanced at it. Like I'm like Nintendo has a history of doing this, where it's like, hey, the Nintendo DS, for instance, it had a Game Boy Advance port.
Right.
The GameCube had an adapter you could buy to play your Game Boy Advance games and your Game Boy games. The Super Nintendo had a reverse compatibility cartridge you could stick in to do that too. It's like they got a habit of doing it, but I wonder if they'll actually keep doing this forward or if it's just going to be for the Switches.
Right.
because it's like, oh, the digital store will stay over forever.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
I've
it's
been
like,
looking, trying to read up on it and see like what.
yeah, but I think they've only confirmed its existence and just gave the clarification on what it can do, not like its actual specs or anything.
Yeah, it's like it's happening, but
Yeah, it's happening. We'll just go ahead and confirm it.
yeah,
I'm just waiting for Nintendo to go, hey, we're just going to shadow drop Metroid Prime 2 Echoes here. It's like, boom, done, dropped out of nowhere. And I'm waiting for that one.
right,
And then hopefully they get around to 3 at some point in my lifetime, re-releasing it, because I never got to play it originally.
right.
So, because my mom had the Wii. We got Mom a Wii for Christmas. She actually played it too.
That
Good old Wii Sports.
that was a fun time.
Yeah.
I was kind of
Nah,
like I wanted one, and I was like way too young when this thing came out, but I was like, hey, Mama, we would be kind of cool.
yeah. No, I think my stepdad, he got it for her or something, and we helped her out, and she would do the Wii Sports stuff. So I'd come in from school or something, and she's like doing the step alongs on the pad for it. I actually think I have that dang pad. Yeah, I see it right now in
The
my room.
motion, well, the Wii Fit pad or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's over here in the corner of my room in a box. Check it out. Uh, weirdly enough, my mom used to play video games with me because I played Castlevania on the Nintendo, and we'd play it. We'd both hand it off,
Mhm.
and we had those old '60s TVs, the things that weighed like 500 pounds. That's what I played on. So, but let's see. Any other gaming news? I know they were talking about. Look, you could play like Bloodborne upscaled a bit on the PlayStation Pro or whatever. I'm like,
Wow, a little bit
ooh,
upscaled.
ooh, how about we just re-release it, guys? Come on now, I'll platinum again. I don't care. I love Bloodborne.
Just give me
It's
the
my favorite
game.
FromSoft game.
Just give me the remaster.
They lost the source code. They just don't admit it. Probably, some guy, somebody wasn't paying attention, spilt water on their computer and fried it. Like, there goes that hard drive. Well, shit.
We didn't need it. It's fine. They're
Yeah.
never. This game's not going to go anywhere. One of the biggest from games ever.
It's like it's Lovecraft and aliens. No one will want this. Come on now. Oh, everyone wants this. Oh, we better kind of include that next game we're working on. Elden thing.
Elden thing. That thing
Yeah,
that we got the dude who wrote that one thing of books to make.
yeah. Weirdly filled with inappropriate family relations. Huh? Weird. Wonder where that came from. Uh,
But anyways, are we
uh,
gonna remaster Demon Souls?
Man, that wasn't a bad remaster. I never played the original, but like the feedback stuff they put in that,
Right.
I think that was one of my first PS5 games actually,
I didn't
because they only had
play
like a
it.
couple. It was because I had Returnal and that, and that's basically all they had there for a while. That was like a PS5 game that I was interested in.
Yeah, I didn't play it yet.
When I bought my PS5, I got it in a bundle, and it came with some NBA game, and I've never opened it. It's like,
Man got
that's
2K.
nice. Yeah, it was NBA 2K something. I forget. It was whatever it came with. So
I don't blame you, man. I wouldn't want to play NBA either.
sports games have been on the decline for years.
Oh, of
It's just
course.
like it's just the same game, and they barely fix anything or update anything. Sometimes they're just worse.
It's almost like sports games are just the same thing every single year.
Oh, I know, but I mean, like you think they could do something fun with it or jazz it up somehow. But nah, we just updated the roster a bit. We made some people worse because. Oh, okay. But you want to pay 70? What is it now? 75, $80 for the base game, and then the special edition. You know, uh,
To be
gaming
a
is a
gamer in 2024.
oh lord, it's such a mess. I used to play a lot more games until I bought this house. Although I'd be like, oh hey, I could tell you about have a couple going on, but bills, adulting, unfortunately.
It's cool. You
Um,
got Metaphor. That game will last you a while.
Well, I'll probably go through it again because I'll probably platinum it. I don't think any of it'll probably require a second playthrough because I think one of the trophies is like debate all your rivals, and I know I missed most of those.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Uh huh.
So I'm like, ah, shit. Well, I like it enough. I'll play through it again.
I get you.
Yeah, yeah. I almost platinumed the original P5, and I missed the one on having making all the thieves tools because on my new game plus, I was like, I don't need to make these. I got what I need here. I know what I need. I was like, wait, that's a trophy. Oh shit.
That's a
No.
thing.
And it's like I could go start a new game up, and like I think they keep unlocking stuff till the end of the game, and like I could do that again, but I really don't feel like it. You
Amazing.
know. Yeah. So there's Metaphor. Monster Hunter Wilds is my next big thing I'm looking forward to
Right.
because I'm a big Monster Hunter fan.
It's like what ended this year?
I know it's February 28th.
February.
Yep, because that's going to be my Valentine's Day gift.
Damn, they gave you guys the beta early.
Yeah. Well, I think they might put it back out again. Is what I think. Like, oh hey, like we added a few things you could do. I think they I know with like Rise they kept their beta open forever, like the demo, but with this one they closed it already. So I think they might put out a more solid one, maybe around Christmas or January,
Right.
just so they can really like test it because people were having issues with it. Like there's horrible like models that were like missing all their textures and details, and they're like just polygons mashed together.
What are you talking about? That's perfect.
Look, I played Monster Hunter One. They didn't look that bad. Your character looked like it was like drawn on with a crayon, like their face, but it wasn't that bad. Put all this time, effort, and detail in designing your character, and I'll slap a helmet on there and never see it again. So I love when video games do that. It's like, oh, you've spent all this time making your character in Dark Souls 1? Doesn't matter. You're jerky man 90% of this game. Let's go. And
Perfect.
there's Metaphor that I played, and my wife's been playing Stardew Valley because I got her on it. And aside from having trouble with fishing, she's been enjoying herself. I think that's it for me, really.
Yeah.
Besides, life, normal stuff.
Yeah, I can't say I've been playing much. Like Call of Duty, Silent Hill 2.
You probably just load up Silent Hill 2, get to the start menu, you're like, good, I'll get back to this later.
I'll come
Call of
back
Duty
once
time.
I'm not crazy
Busy.
busy with life.
You ever do that with a game that you're like, I feel like playing this? You go through all the effort of downloading it, installing it, you load up the menu, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, that was
Like
me.
you
That was me recently with the surprisingly the Monster Hunter Wild beta.
yeah, just did enough to get going. If you did that, like, did you beat the first monster and get to your base camp?
Yeah.
Then you basically did the beta because it's like
Sick.
anything after that is just extra stuff that doesn't carry over. So,
Sick.
so my brother's like, why didn't you help us out? And I'm like, because I have Metaphor to play, a game I can actually carry my progress forward with.
So much
Like, look,
metaphor.
man,
Did you know it's a
I
metaphor?
get, yeah, no. Oh Lord, that game. It's like, it's they're very literal sometimes with how they do things. The humans are the enemies. Yeah, I agree. Metaphor, I agree. Um, now there's that.
I've also found
Oh,
myself going back and playing a shit ton of Left 4 Dead 2
yeah.
and
I
Balatro.
think you were playing. Yeah, Ballad. I
Fuck
think you were playing
Balatro,
that before we got
dude.
on here. It consumes you. That game, I had to put it down. I'm like, I'm going to put you down now. And then I went and bought Hades 2 and bought something else that'll consume me. And then I
It was
got
great.
to the point. I got to a point in Hades 2 where I was like, I'm happy with this. And then they dropped the update for the Olympus update. And I'm like, God dang it.
Son of a
Like,
bitch.
well, I'm just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
No, I
Uh,
bought the fucking Steam Deck and I was like, okay,
I know.
I'm just gonna
Balancer is great on that.
I'm just gonna play the funny card game for like an hour and then just to like get a grasp on it, and then I'm done.
And then you look up and it's been 4 hours.
Since buying it, what, like a month ago?
How much you got total? Because I have no way of checking mine.
Not a lot for most people's standards, but I've clocked. I'd have to check my Steam Deck because it doesn't calculate the time from Steam Deck and Steam.
Yeah.
So
And
on
all I've
Steam,
got is a
normally
Steam
it says
Deck.
I have 9 hours, but I think on Steam Deck it's like 90, 90
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah. Uh, I love my Steam Deck to death. It's the only way I can really play any games on Steam. All I got is a dinky little laptop here to keep things going. But oh boy, there's some games on there are dangerous. Oh, Balatro, just pick it up with you and go. Vampire Survivors runs great on that. So I remember getting to when I first played Vampire Survivors. I look at my wife. I'm like, I put the Steam Deck down. She's kind of like, huh? I'm like, yeah, no, the game's gonna play itself now. I just like sit back and it's. I don't have to do anything. I'll eventually die, maybe. No, you have to. You ever play Vampire Survivors?
I think I played it on Game Pass back when it first came out for it.
Death will come for you after the timer hits a certain point, but you can actually beat death. So, like, once you get sufficiently good and powerful enough, so I'm like, all right, now all I have to do is wait for death to appear to kill death.
Right. All I need to do now is just murder death, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah. Oh.
But no, I think right now the game plan is finish moving, or at least
Yeah.
getting to a point where I feel confident that I can take a break.
Yeah. Because
Then,
right now you're. How long of a drive is it for you to move? Like an hour and a half?
like hour 20 from where I currently live.
Yeah. That's how it was for us when we moved. It was an hour away. And it's like, oh, I could take the back roads or I could take the main highway and then take the overpass there that, is under construction.
Right.
Which poison do I pick in this hideously misshapen moving van they provided for free?
How do I die?
God. Oh, I hated that thing so much.
I'm
Because you know how those things are where they're like, you're 8 foot off the ground, but you have no motor in front of you. You're basically on
right.
top of the motor. It's like, I can't tell where I'm at on the lines, people. Please keep away.
I made the joke to Ash, my loving partner who's been helping me. I was like, "Hey, should I just rent a U-Haul?"
Don't rent a U-Haul.
And Ash goes, "Aren't you just like? Don't you only have like 6 boxes so far?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, but
U-Hauls will charge you by the mile, I believe, and
oh
it's
shit,
ridiculous.
is it by the mile?"
Like, what can I say?
Never mind.
You're on your computer there.
I think I'm good.
That's the reason it took me a while to move in here because we moved in and we had to wait a week and a half. Because the U-Haul was going to be stupidly expensive. So let's say a 10-foot truck. It's not giving me without putting in any additional information.
Yeah, I'm looking right now, seeing what.
It's between 59 and 99 cents per mile driven.
Oh my god.
So if you have to drive 100 miles, you're looking at either $59 or $100, and that's just one trip potentially.
Yeah,
That was what it was.
good.
Yeah, so that's what it was gonna be for me. I was like, all right, so let's do a quick calculation because depending on which way I take, it's still an hour, so it's about 50 miles from where we used to live.
Right.
I'm like, it'll cost probably $300 to $400 at minimum, or I could wait a week and a half. So we just waited a week and a half.
I don't need this item. It's fine.
Yeah, I was like, we just came up here and did some brief work before we moved in. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, you're lucky. Ash lives, at the house you're at, so you don't have to worry about everything flipped on. We moved in here, we didn't have internet for like a week because the Spectrum got confused and was like, "You're starting a new account, right?" No, I'm transferring. No, you wait, what? Oh, it was a nightmare, and they just had to cancel my account and redo it somehow. And I'm like, cool. So I guess me being a loyal customer for over a decade has just gotten wiped out. Good to know. But, Yeah.
I'm gonna see
Um,
if I can convince Ash, because I'm the one who's gonna be paying for internet.
yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can convince Ash to let me put fiber in.
Oh man. We're no, I think they're gonna get fiber out here because we're like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
We're right at the cutoff point for the 5G phone service, and it just makes me so mad. Like I can walk a half mile down the road and have 5G internet on my phone. It's like, oh no, you don't get it. No, no, you got full bars and you got 4G, but no, no, no 5G. No, good, you're tragic. No, like, but I pay this much. No, you don't need it. Oh,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do some research and be like, can I just put fiber in here?
I mean, as long as you got the hookups and you get it done right, it shouldn't be. It'll be so much faster. I wish we could get it out
I'm
here.
so excited. I'm gonna be like, I don't care
Yeah,
how much it costs. Just give me the fiber.
you're getting sound like you're getting old there. Give me the fiber.
Give me the
Uh,
fiber internet, damn it.
like, look, all this Taco Bell's been destroying my body. Give me the fiber. But oh, I wish we could get it out of here. But I'm just imagining, like, I'm gonna go download that game. Done. All right.
Yeah, I'm looking.
What
I'm,
was it?
I'm sitting here
Is,
doing
is,
research real quick to see if fiber's available at their address.
see, is it NASA or something? They like have a stupidly high download rate. It's like I swear it's like 90 gigabit or something. It's like I'm probably getting my numbers way wrong, but it's like boom, done with anything they want to do because they, I guess they need it out there.
Time to pay for fucking 1 gig fiber internet.
Now you got me checking.
$75 a month plus tax.
That's pretty good. We pay $100 for what we got.
I'm not sure how good that fiber internet is, but
Yeah, that's what you might want to check.
it's fiber internet.
AT&T fiber. It says you know.
Yeah, I'll have to do research later.
Yeah. Well, my mom for the first time is gonna have high speed internet out there where they live because my brother's moving in.
Maybe she can
I'm like,
finally
oh,
find a way to get that video put together and figure out what the audio is.
well, no, that's the thing. That weird. So one of the things we'll talk about on the podcast is potentially cryptids or anything weird. And my mom's out there in Southern Ohio, and weird shit's been happening. Like they've got like a fenced-in thing they put their trash in, and something got in there, reached in and grabbed the bag of trash and took off with it. And the fence is like 8 foot tall, like 6 to 8 foot tall, depending on because it's kind of uneven. You know, you'd have to reach over that. And then she heard this god awful howling noise that she could barely record on her little iPhone. And then the dogs are constantly going crazy. So, you know, normal things when you live next to an Indian burial ground. Like me rambling a little bit, not sounding too much like an old man. Uh, so, yeah, no.
Right.
So you want to call this thing, or you want to talk a little more?
I
Because we got
think
about 50
that
minutes
this was
here.
a great first episode. I think
Yeah,
that we should be good for now.
yeah. So, all right. Well, I'd say probably just cut it here because we're just getting started, and we can, like I've said, kind of a crazy day, so there's not a lot of gaming news.
Not a lot of
It's
fun
like,
stuff to
oh
talk
hey,
about.
yeah, no, it's like, hey, the Nintendo's like, oh hey, the election's going on. Hey, Switch 2.
We'll give you an alarm clock, an app to
Yeah.
listen to our soundtrack finally.
Uh, oh yeah, the alarm clock that you have to pay the monthly subscription service for. Can you imagine you rely on that? You've missed your payment. You just miss. You don't wake up. You miss work.
Shit! I knew I should have put it on yearly payments.
Well, man, no, that's going to condition people. It'll be like they have a certain noise that plays from it, and then it'll be someone's ringtone, and they just twitch for no reason.
No.
Like it's the treasure noise from Legend of Zelda, and someone's ringtone is that, and they just flip out like, what? Man, is this a waking nightmare? No,
That alarm clock's
but
gonna be great.
yeah. Well, I guess we'll call it here then.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Fun first episode.
Oh yeah,
If you guys liked it, Like,
Yeah.
subscribe,
Yep.
comment,
Please
shit for us to talk
comment.
about.
Yeah, or criticisms. That's fine.
If you're
We're new to
listening
this.
on Spotify or those other platforms, rate it. Uh,
Yeah,
get us some ratings.
please. We appreciate it.
But yeah, other than that, I think we're good.
Yep. All right. And do we do a clap test to get out of here? Alrighty. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit stop, I guess. Roughly, yeah. No, I'm still going. Hang